What if I told you Avengers Doomsday doesn't end with a cliffhanger? It ends with total annihilation. Not half the universe, not a temporary snap, not a we'll fix it in the next movie. Everyone dies, and the only one left sitting on a throne at the end of the film is Dr. Doom. If this leak is even remotely accurate, we're not looking at another team-up movie. We're looking at Avengers Infinity War on steroids. Except this time, the villain doesn't just win, he rewrites existence. And the craziest part, it might actually be the smartest narrative move the MCU has made in years. So buckle up, because we're breaking this down. The escalating conflict, moral fractures, betrayal, catastrophic war, and a final god-level twist that redefines the entire multiverse saga. And trust me, the ending changes how you feel about every single death. So in the opening of the movie, we don't open on Earth 616, we don't open with the Avengers, we open in New York City, but not the one you know. This is the Earth of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and he's fighting Deadpool and Wolverine. Already chaos. But here's the real twist. They're not there for a fun multiversal cameo battle. They are there on a mission. They carry a planet-killing bomb built by Beast. Its purpose? Destroy Spider-Man's Earth. Why? To prevent an incursion from wiping out their own universe. This isn't villainy. This is survival math. One universe must die so another can live. That moral equation is the spine of this entire film. Wolverine manages to plant the device, and here's where it gets brutal. He stays behind. The bomb detonates. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man dies. Wolverine dies. Everyone on that Earth dies. That's not a mid-movie twist. That's the opening scene. And in the distance, we see their universe still intact. Above the ashes, Professor X watches silently. They had no choice, right? And just like that, the movie establishes its central conflict. When survival demands sacrifice, who gets to decide? Now keep that question in mind, because every hero in the story is about to answer that differently. Then we cut to Tony Stark's funeral, which is new. We haven't had any reports about that before. From there we revisit the moment Steve Rogers returns the Infinity Stones. Except this time we stay with him. He chooses not to come back. He stays with Peggy Carter. They build a life. They have a son, reportedly named James, after Bucky. 10 peaceful years pass, and then someone knocks on the door. It's Loki. This is before his season 2 finale transformation. He brings devastating news. The TVA is coming. Steve was never meant to stay, never meant to have a son. This timeline will be pruned, erased, gone. Loki offers a solution. He can move them to a universe where they technically don't exist. The universe of the Fantastic Four. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a special card, likely a locator connected to him. That detail feels small. It isn't, because it becomes a thread that unravels everything later. Steve and his family escape. They live peacefully for 10 more years, and then Doom arrives. Enter Dr. Doom. He approaches Sue Storm and Franklin Richards. He warns them their universe is next. Incursions are inevitable. His solution? Travel to Earth 616. Build massive cannons on each Earth to permanently push universes apart and stop the collisions. It sounds impossible, but it also sounds like hope. And here's the manipulation layer. Doom asks Reed if anyone from another universe is living there. They scan the planet and they find Steve. And Doom reveals the devastating truth. Steve's presence destabilized their universe. His existence triggered their incursion. Doom tried to stop it with dangerous experiments. One failed. It killed his family. It disfigured him. It forced him into armor that reportedly fuses magic and technology just to hold his body together. Suddenly, Doom isn't just a villain, he's a grieving man obsessed with control. And now he needs Steve, because no one trusts Doom, but everyone trusts Captain America. And that's how Doom gains access to the Avengers, not through fear, through credibility borrowed from Steve Rogers. That's a terrifyingly smart move. They visit the X-Men universe, and the X-Men are hostile. Why? Because they've survived multiple incursions before. They've destroyed other Earths already. That opening scene, not their first time. They trust no one. Reed and Doom explain the canon plan. Separate universes permanently, prevent future collisions, teams split up, travel between universes, building devices, testing weapons, constant movement. But while the heroes are busy constructing hope, Steve tells Thor that Loki is alive. Thor wants to see him. They use the card. They track Loki. They find the TVA. They arrive. Everyone is dead. Loki's heart has been ripped out. The silence says everything. This wasn't random. This was calculated. And in that moment, suspicion becomes certainty. Doom is not trying to save the multiverse. He's positioning himself above it. Steve confronts Doom and Doom stops pretending. He never wanted to prevent incursions. He wanted them to happen because when everything dies, he can rebuild it in his image. He takes Steve to Latveria. Masked witches serve him. One impersonates Peggy to manipulate Steve emotionally. Doom reveals the final blow. Steve's presence in his universe killed his family. As revenge, Doom kills Steve's son in front of him. If this happens on screen, this becomes the darkest Avengers movie ever made. But it doesn't stop there. Doom announces war. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, they unite. They march on to Latveria. Thor prays to Odin. An army from Valhalla joins the battlefield. Earths begin colliding in the sky. Reality fractures, heroes fall, and here's the critical narrative choice. They lose. The universes crash into each other. Everything is destroyed. Every hero, every villain, every world. Except Doom. He stole Loki's powers, and with them, he creates Battleworld. Now here's the interesting part. Doom resurrects everyone, not variants, not replacements, the exact same individuals. Memories erased. They believe Battleworld is all that ever existed. We see them living new lives in this fabricated reality. Doom sits on a throne, emperor of existence. And this is where the story doesn't calm down. It actually becomes more dangerous. Because once Doom is sitting on that throne, once Battleworld exists, we're still left with some serious unanswered questions. And they aren't small ones. If Doom killed Loki and stole his powers, did that act itself trigger the final incursions? Think about it. If Loki was holding the multiverse together, stabilizing timelines, preventing collapse, then ripping his heart out isn't just murder, it's structural sabotage. It could be the moment that the multiverse truly became unsalvageable. And if that's true, then Doom didn't just exploit the chaos, he caused the final collapse. And here's where the logic tightens even further. If Doom already had Loki's multiversal power, why did he need the canon plan at all? Why approach the Fantastic Four? Why convince the Avengers? Why recruit the X-Men? If he could rewrite reality, why go through all of that? Was the entire separate the universes strategy just theater, a distraction, a way to keep every major hero busy building false hope while he positioned himself for the final incursion? Because if the heroes are focused on construction, they're not focused on investigation. If they believe Doom is trying to save existence, they don't question whether he's accelerating its destruction. And that possibility changes everything. It reframes Doom not as a desperate scientist who lost his family, but as a chess master who needed time. Time to eliminate Loki. Time to destabilize reality. Time to ensure that when the universes collide, there would be no one left capable of stopping him. So the question isn't whether Doom betrayed them. The question is whether the entire alliance was always part of the trap. Did killing Loki start the countdown? Did Doom already know the cannons wouldn't work? Was he buying time not to prevent their final incursion, but to guarantee it? Those are the fractures in the logic. Those are the pieces we don't have yet. And until we see how Marvel explains it, we're left sitting in that uncertainty. Because if Doom engineered the collapse from the beginning, then this isn't just a villain winning. And that's far more terrifying. We'll have to wait and see how it's handled. But if those answers land properly, this could elevate Doom from powerful to mythic. And that's how the movie ends. Not with hope, not with a tease, with tyranny. And this is where the resurrection debate begins. Does it cheapen death? I don't think so. Because this isn't swapping variants. This is continuation. It's structurally similar to Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, but compressed. We don't wait a full movie to see the aftermath. We see it immediately. Secret Wars becomes a rebellion against a god. And if Doom physically kills heroes in battle, Cyclops, Professor X, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, but resurrects them, that emotional payoff isn't erased, it's delayed. And that might actually create higher stakes, because Doom doesn't just defeat them, he rewrites them. Now, if this is real, would you prefer permanent deaths or a god-tier villain who resurrects everyone just to rule them? Because if Avengers Doomsday ends with Battleworld fully realized on screen, then Secret Wars doesn't begin with mystery, it begins with resistance. And that might be the boldest storytelling move Marvel's ever made since Infinity War. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If this leak is even half true, we're not ready for what's coming. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to get alerts to all my latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.